What's going on, everyone? Eric here. Hope you're all doing good today. In this video, we're going to be wrinkly shirt, looking at something that's kind of fun. I have a little device here, kind of like a camp coffee maker, portable coffee maker, and I was a little skeptical about it when I first got at this company, CafeLffe. They offered to send me a little sample to check out, and I said, yeah, why not? And I saw it, and I'm like, okay, this is silly, but I've been having a lot of fun. It's super fun to play with, and I probably am going to bring it on some trips because it's just different and pleasing and satisfying to make coffee with it. So it's kind of fun. Before we get too into it, as usual, like, subscribe, affiliate links down below, support the channel, blah, 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 blah. All right, so let's take a look. First off, we have this little carrying case, right? Pretty cool. Little carrying case for a coffee maker. And inside, you have your very James Bond-ish secret agent coffee set, which is cool. Everything you need. I have right here just a kind of cheap portable grinder. I haven't tested this yet, so I want to see if I can fit it in this pocket on the top and close it up. Because if I can, then I'll be like, all right, this is perfect. And nope. There's no room for a portable grinder in here. That's probably the first little thing. What do we get in the package? You get little backup gaskets. You get your coffee maker. You get an adapter for putting on a cup. You get your little camp cup. And you get a little milk frother. And then you have a couple little other accessories. This is an adapter for Nespresso pods if you were to use Nespresso pods. And this is the little scoop/tamper. So, very cool, nice little case, love that. So I've enjoyed using it, I've been having a lot of fun, and what it is basically is it's a little system that allows you to make something kind of espresso-like with your coffee, depending on how fine you grind it. There's a lot of parts, as you can see, there's a lot of pieces here, a lot of things to clean, a lot of parts to put together, but because it has that carrying case, I feel like if you did bring it on a trip, you won't lose it. The plastic itself is made of Triton, which is a very durable plastic and should be BPA free. The rest of it, I hope it's also made of some kind of Triton, I don't know. Yeah, and then we got some stainless steel parts in here. So the whole way the system operates is fairly simple. You just put your coffee in here, you cover it up with this little gasket, you pop it into your holder, you screw on this water doozy, and then you put on your pump. And then you're ready to essentially make coffee. So it claims, according to their the information here, they claim that it can make 10 to 15 bars of pressure, maybe. I have no way of testing that. And you can use it with hot or cold water. And they recommend using something like the kind of fineness of coffee grind that you would use for, say, like a mocha pot, stovetop coffee maker. I've been playing around with different grinds. I started off with like the manual that comes in the bag said to use coarse, which I assume means like the kind of the regular coffee maker setting, like the kind of thing that you would get from when you buy pre-ground coffee for a store for a coffee machine. I tried that, and it made like kind of a light, you know, kind of weak, almost Americano style small cup of coffee. That actually tasted good, but wasn't anything espresso-like, and I don't know if it was worth the effort. So I've been going finer and finer every time I grind, and I'm now in the stovetop espresso range, and I am getting something closer to a espresso-ish brew. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go a little bit finer. I'm going to get into actual espresso range, and I'm going to see how that goes live. All right, so things to know is it takes a very small dose of coffee. They say it can fit up to 8 grams. I've only been able to fit about 5 or 6 grams in here. You are not doing much as far as coffee prep. You're not tamping really. You're just pressing down, and when you're pressing down, what you're doing is you're making room for your gasket, essentially. So we'll do a little test brew, we'll see how that goes. Then we're gonna get into the little milk frother thing and see how that works. And yeah, let's do it. A little carrot times scale. Calm down. By the way, this scale Very much one of my favorite inexpensive espresso scales. It works really, really well, very accurate, has a lot of cool smart modes to it. There's a video up here somewhere. All right, so what can we fit in here? 6.2 grams, which it's pretty full there. All right, and I'm gonna take my little scoop. Now this isn't really a tamper, it doesn't fit here. It doesn't fit here snugly. You're just pressing it down. We got our little gasket, put it on top, load it into my coffee maker, screw on our base, or screw on our water, I don't know, what would I call this? Screw in the vessel, and now, so with the cup it comes with, this little camp cup, you do not need to use the adapter. I will use a clear cup when I do up close shots, that way you can see what it looks like when it's brewing, but for this test right now I'm gonna use this little camping cup that it comes with that fits it perfectly. Got some hot water in there, filled up to the 2 cup. Cool. I'm gonna affix my little doodad here. All right, and then what I do now is I just pump it, and it builds pressure as I pump it, and it reminds me a lot of a super soaker. I don't know if any of you had a super soaker when you were growing up, but you know how the more you pump it, the more pressure it builds. It's really fun. So, it even sounds like a super soaker. So as I do this, I'm feeling more resistance. And so I'm just gonna do the full brew for this one. There we go. I got a little cup of strong coffee here. Smells good. So this is like a medium light roast, pretty on the lighter side. This is certainly not espresso. But what I have here is a coffee with light body, a little bit of a crema because of the pressure, and I have a little bit of it's flavorful, it's floral. I actually really like this. But I'd say it's got a thin body. I'm using very little coffee here. Okay, so yeah, if you fill it all the way, if you use all the water, you use all the maximum amount of coffee, you're getting about your like a 1:15 ratio, so something like a brewed coffee. And so of course you could play with that and you could do less, which I think I'm gonna do for my next test. I'm gonna use less water and I'm gonna go a little bit finer on the grind and see if we get something a little bit more akin to espresso. Let's find out. Yeah, it's good though, I like it. Okay, we're going a whole notch finer. This time we're gonna do half serving of the water, which is coming up to, 40 grams of water. Okay, here's the pressure building now. That's that. Oh, this is definitely less thin of a brew, I can tell just by looking at it. So this will be more intense. That's surprisingly good. Yeah, that's good. I would hesitate to call this espresso. So we got about a 20 gram yield out of this. That's about a 1:4 ratio. But this is pleasant. Should we go finer? I think we should go a little bit finer. Okay. You're getting I'm getting a very delicious cup of light roast coffee here. That's very, just tastes great. I really like the flavors of it. It's very well extracted. It's really good. If you're on the edge of espresso, the very edge of espresso fineness, you do get a real tasty espresso-like shot, and I'm really enjoying them, to tell you the truth. It's just every pull, every time I make one, it just tastes like a really well-made AeroPress, if that makes sense. But like every time, I just can't seem to fail, which is boggling. Like let's say you were camping and you had a hand grinder capable of espresso fineness. You honestly You honestly could pull like a hold on. You could honestly pull something that was like a 1-to-3 ratio style espresso that has a good amount of flavor to it. But drawback is cleanup is a little messy. There's no good way to knock out a puck, and you need some water to rinse it out. So it's a little bit. So anyway, let's try the milk frother thing. Put it on there, and then I just do like this, a bunch. All right, so now a little messy. All right, so this is definitely frothed milk. Unbelievably, I did make a heart. All right. It's not a strong cappuccino, but okay, so the CafeLffe little pump espresso maker, battery-free, etc., camp coffee maker, whatever you want to call it. Final thoughts. It is by far the most fun coffee maker I've had in a long time. It's just fun to play with. Is it the most efficient? No. Is it the most practical? No. Is it maybe the best match for camping? Maybe not, but it is super fun. And if you were the kind of person who likes glamping, or if you just, enjoy messing around with this is endlessly fun. The finer I went into espresso range, the more espresso like it got. That sounds obvious, but I was really worried about breaking it by getting too much pressure. If you do go too fine, it can't handle it. It will just start releasing the pressure out of here. Definitely on the coarser side of espresso. Everything I made with it was tasty. You can do a full thing of water in here, a full dose of water, and you can get something more like a stovetop espresso mocha pot style of coffee. You can go halfway the water and get something like a more floral 1-to-3, 1-to-4 ratio of espresso style shot. The milk frother thing works surprisingly well, and I was actually able to pour a heart with it, which was shocking. So the carrying case, included carrying case, is a really nice step. If you wanted to bring little Nespresso pods, it comes with an adapter, and you just make Nespresso with this, which I think would be appealing to a lot of people. I would say that is one of the most practical uses for this, is that you can just bring this and Nespresso pods if you're that kind of person, and have very, very easy to make Nespresso. All in all, this is a super fun, not crazy expensive, durable, cute little espresso maker. If you want a full cup of coffee, bring an AeroPress camping, or a French press, or just boil some water with some grinds in it and some eggshells in it over the fire, and just strain that out. But if you want to have fun with coffee, and if you've got access to some water to rinse this thing out in, then yeah, totally cool, totally fun. I'm going to bring it on some trips just because I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the coffee I'm making out of it. Like I said, sometimes coffee just needs to be fun and not practical, and I'm really enjoying my experience with this. So yeah, cool. Like, subscribe, affiliate link to this guy right here down in the description. Thanks. Bye-bye.